just how fast are Mercedes? Now, Mercedes have been moving up the order recently. For the majority of the season, the first 9 races, all Mercedes had going for them was George Russell finishing 5th, Lewis Hamilton not. In fact, Hamilton not even getting past Q1 in Imola. The car had porpoising galore. It was too slow in a straight line. In fact, in France, it was 18 miles an hour slower than the Red Bulls. But how fast are Mercedes now? Because now we've had multiple races in a row where Lewis Hamilton is on the podium, George Russell now on the podium again. If Russell, we had the crash in Silverstone, but otherwise is finishing in the top 5 in every single race. And we're getting to the point where Mercedes are still slow in qualifying. They're really not challenging for top 2, top 3 whatsoever. But during the race, when they get the tires going for a long amount of time, when they work out the high fuel on its way to the low fuel, they've solved their porpoising. They've got upgrades coming. They had a nose upgrade in France that helped them out aerodynamically too. Are Mercedes going to potentially get a race win? Now, we have, of course, seen the thing where no one after their 300th race has won a race, but I do think that will be an exclusion for Lewis Hamilton. I'm pretty sure Hamilton won a race. In fact, might come this year, maybe even in Brazil. We know he's very good at Brazil, and the car's only going to keep getting better. Verstappen might have already won the championship by then and isn't going to be as aggressive with trying to get wins or pushing the car as hard, for example. I do think Mercedes will win a race this year, but it could also very well be George Russell getting his first win this year. The thing that Mercedes really have going for them is that they have 2 very fast drivers. There's a lot of questions, like how good is the Alpine? Fernando Alonso is a top 5 driver this year. Esteban Ocon does pretty good every race, but are they really on the same as Leclerc and Sainz? No, but what about Perez and Verstappen? Are they good? But then you overlook the Brits over there at Mercedes. You have the best driver in history in Formula One, and then you have the young up-and-coming superstar who clearly is very good in this Mercedes with, like I said, finishing top 5 in every single race except the scary Silverstone accident with him and Gasly and, of course, Zhou Guanyu. It is great if Merc don't have the fastest car. I think they could still win a race. Meanwhile, you can't say that about every team. Well, we saw last year Ferrari had the 3rd fastest car, but they couldn't win a race. They almost did in Silverstone with Leclerc, but they still couldn't win a race. And this year, it could be different. The 3rd fastest car can win a race because of who you have behind the wheel. But at this point, when are Mercedes going to move up into the 1st or 2nd car? I don't think it's going to happen this year, but they can be on par with them. And with Ferrari having so many different issues, we see Mercedes, like I said, double podium this weekend. What if we had a situation like where Verstappen was just not on his game at that race, or something like a Silverstone where he ran over debris? This could have been a Mercedes 1-2. So I think Mercedes are definitely going to be in a fight now. I think they have been for the last 3 races. They've gone from fighting to get points to fight. Well, they were always going to score points, but they went from fighting in the mid points to fighting for podiums, which they are now at, and now their next level is to fight for race wins.